What is up, everybody? So in today's video, as you guys can see, I'm going to be discussing Danger Dark Worlds, what it does and how to beat it, because this is the deck that is looking to be the next best deck of the format. So with that being said, you guys already know I had to make a deck discussing what this deck does and talk about how you guys should beat this deck. So with all that being said, let's get into it. Without further ado, let's begin. So going into the video, I'm just going to break down each and every card of the deck, some supporting cards of the deck, and I'm going to finish the video off with cards that beat the deck. So starting off with the first card that was released by Konami, Danger Bigfoot. Effect pretty much reads, and all of them pretty much read this kind of effect where you can reveal them in your hand. Your opponent randomly chooses one card from your entire hand, then you discard it, the chosen card. If the discarded card was not a Danger Bigfoot, special summon one Danger Bigfoot from your hand, and if you do, draw one card. And if he is discarded, like by another guy's effect, because they all have that reveal, and then your opponent pick one to discard, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. You can only use one Danger Bigfoot once per turn. That's lit, and simply due to the fact that he's 3,000 beater. If he is discarded from the hand, he pops card on the board, and he triggers the rest of the deck. So you know what, that moving forward, he's a good for popping back row. It allows this deck to not to run things like MST and Twin Twister, clogging up your hands. So it adds more consistency, which is what I love about this deck. The deck is very consistent and very fluent. I can definitely see this deck probably getting hit in the future. Maybe all the dangers getting limited to one. Who knows? Next up, Danger Nessie. Pretty much the first effect why you can reveal, but then when she's discarded, you can special summon one danger from your hand, and if you do, draw one card. If this card is discarded, you can add one danger card from your deck to your hand except Danger Nessie. So she tutors from the deck, so instead of her when she's discarded, she pop a card. Like this guy right here, when he discarded, he can pop a card in the field. She allows you to search your deck for another danger monster. You're probably gonna search out Bigfoot. Bigfoot is a dark, Nessie's a dark. Nessie is a level 7 though, so 2800 defense, 600 attack. Pretty cool. The one thing I like about this archetype mainly is the simple due to the fact that it's based off of like American lore, like Nessie, you know, it's a Loch Ness monster. Bigfoot is obviously Bigfoot, so yeah. Simple effect, pretty easy. It tutors through the deck, adds consistency. What more do you really want from the card? Next up, Danger Jackalope. Same clause, reveal it, then if it's discarded, special summon one danger monster in your hand. If you do, draw one card. If the card is discarded, you can special summon one danger monster in your deck in defense position except Danger Jackalope. You can only use this effect of Danger Jackalope once per turn. So he's special summoned from the deck in defense mode. Let's say, for example, he gets picked through, let's say, for example, a Darkworld draw card. Pick him, special summon Nessie in defense mode. I mean, or you can just send Bigfoot to pop. I mean, the sky's the limit, bro. Like, this is pretty cool. And then the next one is Danger Chupacabra. Now, you Puerto Ricans out there already know Chupacabra is kind of an American lore. I believe it's more Puerto Rican. I grew up knowing it as a Puerto Rican lore. It could be American lore, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. And then his effect is, if this card is discarded with not Danger Chupacabra, you can special summon one Danger Chupacabra from your hand. If you do, draw one card. If this card is discarded, you can target one danger monster in your graveyard except Danger Chupacabra. Special summon it. You can only use this effect of Danger Chupacabra once per turn. I like the fact that he's a level 4. And not to mention too, he allows you to special summon to the field, which allows you to make link summoning plays. So overall, he's solid for the deck. Now, the deck archetype right now only have Chupacabra, Jackalope, Nessie, and Bigfoot as the monsters. So as of right now, these 4 monsters make the deck pretty good. And you guys already know TCG archetypes have more support moving forward. So I can see as the decks get more support. If the deck's already broken right now, moving forward, this deck's probably gonna get insane. So yeah, keep on the lookout. There's a reason why Konami rarely bumped all these cards. Now I'm going to talk about the spells and traps that came with the deck. Realm of Danger. Your opponent cannot target danger monsters you control with card effects. During a turn, they are special summon. Once per turn, you can target one danger monster you control. While you control that face-up monster in this face-up card, that monster can attack directly. Also, your opponent's monsters cannot target that monsters for attacks, but it does not prevent your opponent from attacking you directly. It's an okay card if you guys want to build a solid version of the deck. Going outright, you know, just like a pure build, non-Dark World splashiness. It's lackluster though, to be honest with you. Cool artwork though. I like the way it's designed. Maybe it might have some playability once the deck gets more support, but as it stands, I just don't think you need this card, and I feel like the card kind of doesn't add much to the deck. Right now the deck is more of a spam deck where you just spit a bunch of monsters to the board, make link monsters, and just go for the OTK. Because every video I saw online, literally just, oh, discard with danger, reveal danger, special summon, draw, attack for game. So yeah, that's the type of deck that this deck is. But so Realm of Danger as archetype support is okay. I think it may be a solid side deck card. I mean, if you're playing as a guy who likes to use a lot of heavy back row, and let's say things like you know, compose start becoming more heavy use, then I can see this you know, being played. As it stands, not that good, but it's solid for what it does. Danger Zone. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards, including at least 1 danger card. Or if you have no danger cards in your hand, show your opponent your entire hand and shuffle it into the deck. You can only activate 1 danger zone per turn. Now this card, if it didn't have that, you can only activate 1 danger zone per turn clause, it'll be busted. And I guarantee you in the R&D room, the testing room, they probably tried it without that last clause and they're like, yeah, this gets too insane. Because if you open up 3, it's very reminiscent of Reckless Greed, where you can just draw and just F up your opponent. As it stands, I think this card is pretty solid for what it does. You know, draw 3, discard 2. Mixing it with Dark Worlds, you can trigger their effects, and then you got Picture Danger, so you get their effects. No one runs this card at the moment, but I wouldn't say that the card is bad. That just means that most of the deck lists I've seen have not ran it. I think it's good as a one-of, just because like you can open it up, and then you can set it, and then you can just shift to your deck more and catch your opponent off guard. I like stuff like that. You know, some people might opt out for that one random solemn warning, which can just win games. But I think cards like this is cute in the sense that it can just get you there certain games, especially when you got things like when you're pitching Jackalope and, you know, special summon from the deck in defense mode, or pitching Nessie to add the shift to your deck, or you can just sit in a Bigfoot. So I think it has a lot of good applications as a one-of. If I was to build this deck, I'd probably test it as a one-of. But who knows, maybe it's a dead draw. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of fast-paced right now, so moving forward, I think this card will see a lot of play in the danger deck. Next up, so I'm going to talk about this deck abusing link monsters as well. So, watching videos on YouTube, this deck abuses the Nightmare Engine, Boros World Dragon a lot, and the deck also, you know, I haven't seen a lot of people use Firewall Dragon with it, but that does not necessarily mean that they haven't used Firewall with it to a T. That just necessarily means that, you know, Firewall Dragon just haven't had a chance to come out when people want to abuse it. I don't think the deck need Firewall Dragon, but the fact that it can abuse link monsters, I think is insane. But in particularly Boros World Dragon, that card is broken. You know, shifting monsters to defense mode, it allows you just to get over the Goki matchup. And you know, Nightmare Unicorn, allowing you to just discard cards, draw cards, reuse things. It's just overall good. So if you guys want to play this deck, you guys definitely need the link monster extra deck, like the Nightmare Engine, the Boros World, and the 1 Firewall Dragon, just to get the deck going. So this is not a budget type of player deck. Support cards. So you guys already know, I've been talking about it since the beginning of the video. The deck does run Dark Worlds, and particularly it runs these 4 cards as a staple. You can pretty much run any Dark World cards you want to run, because every card in this deck will trigger the Dark World cards. But for the most part, you're definitely going to want to run Beach, because he special summons to the field. He triggers well with Grappa. Grappa is kind of like Bigfoot, where when he's discarded, he pops a card. So having Grappa and Bigfoot allows you not to rely on cards like Raigeki and the MSTs and the Twin Twisters. Drag Down to the Grave, definitely running this deck at 3. It's too good not to run. You get information from your opponent, you F up their hand, and you minus them by just whooping their butts with the danger cards. And then obviously Gates of the Dark World, allowing you to draw through your deck more. One thing I love about this deck, it just draws a lot of cards, which makes it just overpower in a right, because by just shifting through the deck fastly, it adds consistency. And you guys know that decks that draw and search that's very consistent like that usually get hit. So play this deck while you guys can, because it's pretty insane. I guarantee you it might win the next big event for Yu-Gi-Oh! I won't be surprised if it wins that event in September for the 200th YCS. Next up, I'm going to talk about best cards to beat the danger. So this small little segment of the video, these 3 cards are pretty much the best cards to beat the deck. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, best floodgate for the deck. Reason being, negate all dark monster effects on the field or in the graveyard. Now I must note, now Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, it floodgates the heck out of the Dark World cards, And you know, things like moving into this deck, I was thinking about maybe Dark Lock can kind of hurt these cards. But if you guys haven't realized, they all trigger off the discard. They don't trigger when they're in the graveyard. Unlike Darkworld cards, like let's say for example Grapha, if this card is discarded to the graveyard, then he does effect, they all trigger off of when you discard them to get their effect. So it allows this deck to avoid losing to things like Dark Law or Macro Cosmos, which is a very good theme to have for this deck, because a deck I feel like shouldn't just outright lose to one card that bad. But if you guys have that Shadow Mirror, it's going down. Like, it just completely shuts off the entire deck, and they have to go into game 2 and 3 and side deck and Twin Twister, which won't be a problem. Droll and Lockbird though. So if you're gonna go second, your opponent's gonna go first using the Danger deck, they're gonna draw a lot of cards. And Droll and Lockbird is definitely one of the better cards to have for them. During either player turn, if your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, except during the draw phase, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard for the rest of the turn. Neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand. Very good. Actually, shout out to this YouTuber I saw he's pretty small. Channel name was Scrub Lord. I actually got a lot of these cards to beat Dangerous from him. So shout out to Scrub Lord for allowing me to watch that video and, you know, stealing some ideas from him. So I just had to give him a shout out because he's a small YouTuber, and I have a little bit of ethicalness about myself. If I see somebody smaller shouting out ideas, I definitely want to give him some support. So shout out to him. Go sub to him if he's watching this video. Thank you for making that how to beat Danger video, because it allowed me to get an idea from my video. So shout out to Scrub Lord. Now, Droll Line Bird is pretty good because it stops them from drawing. So if they're going off, that you can droll them. They're gonna get that first draw off, but moving forward, it's gonna completely slow them down. They're just gonna pass, allowing you to set up your Shadow Mirror. Now, Call by the Grave. Pretty much common sense. It's a hand trap stopper for one, but they all activate off the trigger. So, and they all are not bound to being once per turn. So if you, let's say for example, they have a Bigfoot in grave, because they used it already, you can Call by the Grave that Bigfoot, negate the rest of their Bigfoots for the turn, and vice versa. So, you know, all of these cards are the best cards to beat the deck. So if you guys want to side deck for this deck and you guys are scared as heck, side deck 2, 2, and 2, 3, 3, and 3. However the format shapes up, but these are the best cards you guys want to pick up to beat the Danger archetype. So with all that being said, man, post your thoughts and opinions about my video in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about the Danger archetype? Are you scared of it, or are you not scared of it? Apparently this archetype has an FTK going around. I was not able to find the FTK video. But if you guys know how the FTK work and you guys know how the OTK work, let me know. I mean, moving forward, this deck is just OP as heck anyway, and it definitely deserves to get hit. So with all that being said, once again, if you guys like the videos, let's get this video up to 200 likes. It'll be awesome. And yeah, man, subscribe if you haven't. And this is InnovationYGO, and I'm signing out. Peace and stay innovative. Deuces.